The teaching of the Savior and the revelation of the mysteries and the things hidden in silence, things he taught his student Yohanan. The Revealer appears to Yohanan. One day, when Yohanan, the brother of Yaakov, the sons of Zabdi, went up to the temple, it happened that a Pharisee named Ananias came up to him and said to him, "Where is your teacher, whom you followed?" I said to him, "He has returned to the place from which he came." The Pharisee said to me, "This Nazarene has deceived you badly, filled your ears with lies, closed your minds, and turned you from the traditions of your parents." When I, Yohanan, heard this, I turned away from the temple and went to a mountainous and barren place. I was distressed within, and I said, "How was the Savior selected? Why was he sent into the world by his Father? Who is his Father who sent him? To what kind of eternal realm shall we go?" And what was he saying when he told us, "This eternal realm to which you will..."
Now I forgot. God, the Father of truth, is inside each uniqueness element who is produced in a test tube. He saw that we were lifeless, gave his spirit of himself in himself, and loaned it to us. He's experiencing everything we do because he's our life source, sourcing us with the elements of himself. And he asks, do you not want to keep your uniqueness? Because that's what's available. Sure, he's in us learning how to be the father to the children he created, but some will be lost. I don't think that's a good thing at all, because the whole beginning was two gods arguing with each other, the mother and father, and the mother god being without the masculine element, acted out like our women do, acting out on emotional shit without finding the balanced determined self first. But you need light and logic for that. Anyway, he asks you, do you not want to keep your uniqueness element? Because if you do, then you can, but you got to work for it. You got to take personal development classes. See, that's the requirement of this God. The only requirement is to find and keep and practice the skill set of the balanced determined self without ever acting on, or without ever first calculating heart's thought with a dark emotional wisdom inside self. That kind of wisdom, it exploits the unresolved past and generates the anger, but human will takes it and calculates, how am I going to hurt this person back? How am I going to steal that $1 million? That kind of thing. But it goes as far as a fucking cigarette. You know, you use the same tools and toolbox as the liar does. Naas, spelled N-A apostrophe A-S, Naas. That was the name of the angel who Sophia created, that everybody calls the devil now, or the evil spirit influence. His name was Naas. The Satan was the administrator for the first Babylonians, the created secondary human being, made by those human-like fucking aliens in a test tube. So God gave us the seed of life that possesses the purity form of truth and its emotional response, who he considers a spiritual daughter in the spiritual copulation between self and God. That's what the bridal chamber, I'm sure, is all about, is birthing the child and keeping it in purity form in terms of your emotional truth. And when you can't do that anymore, it's because Naas and his influence, the opposite of wisdom and emotional depth, is that creates life, spiritual life, because we project our emotional intent through our human behavior. That And that comes from the specific wisdom that we choose. So if we choose the wisdom of goodness, then that's the spirit that is projected, invisible, non-physical, but people feel it, and we feel it when we act. But if we're acting from this secondary wisdom, the angry person's wisdom, then we're left unresolved, not willing to resolve, connecting with the unresolved past, making self angrier and angrier and angrier, and the only way to resolve, and it's not resolved at all, but it appears to be resolved, is retribution, to pay the other person back, because it feels good to feel equal again, because that's the real thing, the real problem. You feel unequal, unaccepted, rejected, that kind of thing. So we go into fight or flee. We either just walk away, well, that's running, by the way, without acknowledging the circumstances, or we fight. My way of fighting, in fear of that kind of humiliation bring back, because that's what it comes back, the fear of humiliation from the rejection model, being parented. We're emotionally programmed in our lowered self that way, and then that's how Asa's energy first sees the negative energy in the child, and we grow up with these belief systems to then access it and then turn it shit around, saying the lie will save you. Just lie to a child in terrible, terrible spiritual trauma, because that's what it is, rejection. Acknowledgement from parents breeds spiritual life. I gotta go.